Test, test. Can you hear me now? If you want to go ahead and, there we go. If you'd like to go ahead and come on, we'll get started here in a few minutes. Go ahead and start making your way to your seats. That'd be great. Thank you.
Test, test. Hello, hello. Are we working now? Hey, there we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Fleet Week Foundation Enlisted Recognition Luncheon. My name is Gordon Rutherford. I'm the Foundation President, Fleet Week Foundation President for 2020. And I want to thank everybody here for joining us today, especially our finalists who are here in person. 3 of you are here in person, and we have another couple that are joining us via Zoom. couple of admin announcements first. For your lunch today, hopefully everybody got a ticket. If you got a ticket, make sure you just set it on your table, probably under something to keep it from blowing away. And the good folks here from USO will come around and swap that ticket for your meal of choice. The other thing is if you have your parking ticket with you, you can take it at any time during the event back to the welcome desk, and the USO folks will validate it for you. So you can take care of that at any time during this. So again, thank you for joining us today. I particularly want to thank the USO for hosting us today at the Neil Ashe Airport Center. This is my first time here, and it's a fantastic facility. It's a perfect venue for Fleet Week to hold this scaled-back event during the COVID-19 pandemic. I also want to give a shout-out to Ashley Carmack, the Executive Director of USO San Diego, and Michelle Pranger, the Volunteer Manager at the Neil Ashe Center here at the airport. Additionally, thank you. Additionally, I want to thank our great sponsors, Cubic Corporation, our presenting sponsor for the Enlisted Recognition Luncheon, and USAA, the sponsor of the Making a Difference Award. I also want to thank the Fleet Week Board and Committee for their support, and in particular our Fleet Week staff, Associate Executive Director Maggie Young, and our tireless Administrative Assistant Judy Cabana, and all our volunteers. Will the guests please rise for the playing of our national anthem by 1st Marine Division Band.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the 1st Marine Division Band, under the direction of Chief Warrant Officer 3, Andres Navarro, to play our national anthem.
Will the guests please be seated? I am delighted to introduce Dennis Dubard, who will be our Master of Ceremonies today. In addition to being a member of the Fleet Week Board of Directors, Dennis also has a day job at General Dynamics NASCO here in San Diego, where he is the Manager of Government Relations. If you have ever been to one of the ship commissioning ceremonies at NASCO, Dennis is the person that puts those events all together and then also acts as the Master of Ceremonies during the ceremony. Dennis is a retired naval aviator who had a distinguished 30-year career in which, among other things, he commanded Helicopter Combat Support Squadron 8, USS Peleliu, LHA-5, and Amphibious Squadron 1. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our 2020 Enlisted Recognition Luncheon Master of Ceremonies, our very own Dennis Dubard.
So thanks, Gordon, and welcome to all for this very special event. Ashley and your crew, great job. Thanks a lot. How about another round of applause for the USO? I do want to make a couple of introductions. One, Mr. Eric Carr, who's the Vice President of Systems Operations from the Cubic Corporation, our title sponsor today. Eric. Gordon Rutherford, who you just talked to, is our Fleet Week President this year. And Mr. Bill Ball, who's going to be his replacement. Bill is a Colonel, United States Army, retired. Hua. Be President-elect for 2021. Stand up, Bill. Don't break anything, Bill. Push-ups. Now sit down. So we're actually honored today to be joined by the 5 finalists for our Make a Difference Award. Joining us in person today is from the USS Portland, LPD 27, Hull Technician First Class, Janae Arthur, and her mom, Mary, is here. From Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, Staff Sergeant Mason Hernandez. Yeah. From Coast Guard Sector, San Diego, Aviation Survival Technician Second Class, William Arison. And joining us should be virtually from LCS Squadron 1, Yeoman First Class, Omar Mora. Let's see. He'll be there. There he is. From the USS Abraham Lincoln, CVN 72, Religious Program Specialist First Class, Melissa Riley. And that handsome gentleman down at the bottom is former Command Master Chief, United States Navy retired, David Deary from USAA, and he's the sponsor of our Making a Difference Award. Dave, good to see you. And now, before we start our lunch, I would like to invite Mr. Eric Carr from Cubic to say a few words. Eric?
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. Before I get going, I'd like to definitely say thank you to the USO for hosting us today. This is wonderful. It's a beautiful Chamber of Commerce day, right? This is my third Fleet Week event here in San Diego, if you will. This event and the many others that are occurring this week would not be possible if it really weren't for the Fleet Week staff and the many volunteers that are putting this event, not only this week, but in prior years. So thank you to all of them. Would not happen without them. For me, this is my favorite event. This is an opportunity to recognize not only the candidates today who are nominated by their organizations, but everybody who serves. Today, as well as the events, today, as well as all of the events scheduled this week, are in recognition of you, your service, and the differences you and your families make, ensuring the safety and security of our great nation. Many of you may not know who Cubic is or what we do, and that's okay. But most of you who have gone through training have used many of the equipment and many of the training products that we offer the services today. Whether it's force-on-force training at the major combat training centers, air combat training centers, or even some of the new virtual-based training, particularly for the hybrid ships, the LCS class that the U.S. Navy is deploying. Our goal is to ensure that that you and those that follow you remain the most formidable and effective, and dare I say, the most lethal fighting force on the planet. So on behalf of the nearly 2,000 Cubic Defense Sector employees, I want to thank you for your service. Please enjoy yourselves today. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eric. So please enjoy your lunch. If you would, keep your slip, which shows what type of meal you're getting on your table, and the USO folks will come around and deliver your meal. So enjoy your meal, and we'll get back to the program here shortly. Thank you. You know, one of the best I do have one other announcement. So one of the most prized possessions of the day is a validated parking pass. So the gouge is, before you leave, go check the welcome desk, get your parking pass validated. However, somebody is going to leave and think they've got a parking pass, and they're going to get to the gate and they're going to go, uh-oh. So I have somebody lost a parking pass. So if you want to check your pockets, your purse, whatever, if you lost a parking pass, we found the winner. It's Judy. We are near an airport, so I guess we'll have to, as they say, sometimes that's the sound of freedom. So I would a little bit of recap of what we're doing this week with Fleet Week. Okay. Somebody was yelling at me. So on Monday we started off with the Enlisted golf tournament. We'd like to thank the folks at Saquon who've supported that golf tournament over the years. We had about 100 players participate. Let's face it, we don't have to. It's not really hard to get a bunch of folks to go play golf on a work day. But the United States Coast Guard took home the inter-service trophy from that tournament, beating out the Navy and the Marine Corps. So good on you, Coasties. Yesterday, we also opened the Qualcomm Innovation Zone, which is part of our Fleet Week festivities. You can actually go to that Innovation Zone. It's all virtual. It's at fleetweeksandiego.org. If you haven't had a chance to look at it, I looked at it earlier this morning. It looks pretty good. In fact, if you've been to the actual down on the pavilion down in downtown San Diego, you go into this virtual booth and it looks like you're actually there. So it's a pretty cool site. Get a chance to do that. It also shows some of our San Diego's companies that are doing some tremendous work in that realm with Qualcomm, General Atomics, Cubic, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, NASCO, and BAE, and they're all featured on that. As well, the Navy Information Warfare Command, Navy Medicine, and Navy Health Research Center are also part of the Innovation Zone. We've also got a section on some of the nonprofits that are here in San Diego that do a tremendous job. One of them is here. I can see him back, Tony and his crew from STEP. Thank you for all that you do for us here. But it's a great opportunity for you to see some of these nonprofits that support our military here in San Diego. We also opened up the Veterans Art Exhibit, which is on the Fleet Week website, and it's being sponsored by the San Diego's Museum of Contemporary Art. And we've got 24 veterans that are displaying their artwork in that on that website. So it's a really great site to get a chance to do that. On Tuesday, we started with the Student STEM Day. We had over 2,700 students from around the San Diego County, and they hooked up with some of the high-tech companies in the Navy here to take a look at what's going on in the STEM world. So that was actually so popular that we're actually extending that effort through Friday. For those, yesterday, as many of you know, was Veterans Day, and we take an opportunity to say thank you to those who have and who are wearing the cloth of our nation. But we had a boat parade. We had about 70 boats participating in that parade. The Navy Leapfrogs and the Coast Guard's search and rescue team, and 2 waves of vintage aircraft flying over the bay. That was a great event yesterday. And this morning, we had the annual SD-MAC San Diego Military Advisory Council and the Fleet Week breakfast, and that was sponsored by General Atomics. We had Vice Admiral Mike Moran, who's the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Research, Development, and Acquisition, was our guest speaker this morning. We had about 100 people on that Zoom call. So we're going to wrap this week up on Saturday with a military family drive-in movie that's going to be over at the it's going to be sponsored by Lincoln Military Housing, and it's going to be at the Lexus parking lot at Petco Park. So again, we're here today to honor and recognize some outstanding achievement by the men and women who serve our nation and this town and county on a daily basis. So we had about over a dozen inputs for the Making a Difference Award, and we're happy to have 5 of the finalists here today, and we have a couple on virtual we'll be talking to in just a minute. So if I would, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Make a Difference Award. The annual Fleet Week Make a Difference Award recognizes the enlisted member on active duty, E6 and below, that's made an extraordinary contribution to San Diego, to both the military and civilian communities the preceding year. The service and recognition must be going well above established standards by position and billet in which the person serves. In other words, it's not only just their day job, but it's what they do to distinguish themselves in this community. And having read the write-ups for all of them, I can say they do a tremendous job. And to all the finalists, thank you for everything that you do, not only for your shipmates, but for your shipmates here in San Diego. So I would now like to introduce our 5 finalists. And I'll start off first with Hull Technician First Class Janae Arthur. She's stationed on board the USS Portland LPD 27. So this comes the embarrassing part time. So I'd ask you to please just get up and say a little bit about where you're from and a little bit about yourself.
Good afternoon. I'm Janae Arthur, hull technician. I've been in the Navy for 6 years, serving on board USS Portland. I pre-com the Portland, and I will also be a part of the deployment crew. I love to volunteer. It makes me happy. I've been doing it ever since I've been in middle school. And thanks to my mother, I am just so passionate about it and everything that comes with it. I am honored to be nominated for this award from you all, as well for my command. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So some highlights from her nomination: environmental conservation, beach and park cleanups. She helped with 1,500 Girl Scouts aboard the Midway for their 21st anniversary. And she organized 75 sailors and put together holiday cheer bags for deployed sailors. And she's a volunteer girls softball coach at Perry Elementary School. Congratulations, Arthur. Next, we'll go to virtual. It's Yeoman First Class Omar Mora. He's from Littoral Combat Squadron 1. Petty Officer Mora, or Yeoman, I think he was on earlier. Working on it.
Do you guys hear me?
Let me tell you a little bit about Petty Officer Mora. He created the Stay Home San Diego, which is a crisis relief nonprofit designation to aid COVID vulnerable senior citizens by delivering groceries and essential products. From March to June, he contributed over 120 hours in guiding the acquisition, organization, packaging, and delivery of over 16,000 bags of groceries and essential products to our senior citizens in San Diego County, of which I will say, unfortunately, I am one of those senior citizens, but I know I'm not alone in this audience. But very impressive. Petty Officer Mora, congratulations, and could you please just tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
Yes, sir. Does everyone hear me all right?
Yep, gotcha.
All right. Yeah, my name's Omar Mora. I grew up in Connecticut, graduated from Central Connecticut State University back in 2012. Currently getting my master's in organizational leadership and human resources. And my first volunteer experience first started with Fleet Week, actually back in 2015 when I was a YN2, and it was my first Fleet Week, and it was a fun experience seeing all the volunteers and all the programs they were offering to us, and it kind of threw some drive in me to start volunteering. So I started volunteering with the USO, and my passion kind of grew from there. And then for this most recent experience during COVID, a bunch of friends and we were all part of a volleyball group, and we saw the limitations on the elderly because of everything. So we all came together and kind of figured what we can do to help them out, and we came up with this idea, and we named it Stay Home San Diego, and just try to do as much as we can for them.
Great. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Next, Staff Sergeant Mason Hernandez from Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego. Sergeant Hernandez, tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in the Marine Corps and what you do at MCRD.
First off, good afternoon, everyone in attendance. My name is Staff Sergeant Hernandez. I'm currently an instructor at DI school over at MCRD San Diego. I've been in the Marine Corps for going on 8 years. I'm happily married, 2 beautiful children. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it weren't for the support that I have at home. With that being said, started volunteering about 5-6 years ago. Love the opportunity to help out with the community. Unfortunately, due to being a drone instructor, I haven't had as many opportunities with my current job, but I try to get out there as often as possible, be able to find a few things here and there. And I just love to be able to to have that impact on others and be able to have an impact on the community, because ultimately that's what we're here serving our country for. And if we can do that also within the community, I think it's an awesome thing to be a part of. So again, thank you for having me.
Thank you. So highlights from his nomination is Armor of Light, which provides meals to family of deployed Marines. He works with the San Diego Youth, and he was the Drill Instructor of the Year. He's also looking for a volunteer later in the day. If you want to know what it's like to be yelled at by DI, he's looking for a volunteer. I got a couple I'd like to nominate, but I'll let you know that later. Okay. All right, let's go back now to Petty Officer Melissa Riley from the USS Abraham Lincoln, CVN 72. Petty Officer Riley, over to you. Yep.
So I am RP1 Riley. I am from upstate New York. I've been in the Navy for about 9 years. I started volunteering at my first duty station, and ever since then, I've just loved volunteering whenever I can get out and help. I want to try and do that. Last year, I was deployed for most of the year, so when I got back at the beginning of this year, before COVID hit, I really tried to get involved with as much as I could. And when COVID was going on, I still tried to participate and volunteer as much as I could during the year. But that's about it about me.
Thank you, Petty Officer Riley. So, you know, I was a had a tour on the USS Abraham Lincoln CVN 72 as well as a navigator many years ago. One of the things that the ship has is the name tags is a penny, because Abraham Lincoln's on the penny, and it's got their 1972 pennies. So the story around the ship is, as long as you're on Abraham Lincoln, you always have a penny to your name. So Petty Officer Riley, I'll highlight some of her nominations. She worked on the Alpha Project, which is a food for the hungry, and served over 32 projects. She paved the way for members of the Abraham Lincoln crew to receive the Military Outstanding Volunteer Medal, and it's the highest award from the Department of Defense for volunteering. In 50 years, 50 sailors began working on their medal, and they cared for sheltered animals, fostered children, homeless vets, and worked in the food pantries. She also led over 21 sailors in supporting relief efforts on the fire in the USS Bonhomme Richard by supplying belongings that were lost to those sailors that lost it in the fire. So congratulations, Petty Officer Riley. Next is from Coast Guard Sector San Diego is Aviation Survival Technician, 2nd Class, William Arison. Petty Officer Arison, where are you from and what do you do for a living?
Should we turn it off?
Hello?
The red light's on. Tap it. There you go.
There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Petty Officer William Arison. I'm originally from the East Coast, Hamilton, New Jersey. I've been in the Coast Guard for just about 11 years now. I'm a rescue swimmer on the Jayhawks you see flying around, orange and yellow helicopters. Hopefully we don't see you offshore anywhere. It probably won't be a good day for you. But yeah, I love what I do. Obviously, Coast Guard, we're a service for helping people right here in the U.S., which is what I kind of love about our mission, is a little bit more direct in what we do with the public. And then aside from helping my shipmates out at work, I'm a yoga instructor, so imagine I'm trying to teach 8 other burly rescue swimmers. Yoga in the shop could be kind of entertaining, but got into volunteering about 2 years ago in the community, just having some free time. You know, I'm a single guy, so kind of felt a little selfish with all the trips I've been doing to go rock climbing and snowboarding. So it's been great being here in San Diego, and thank you guys.
For those of you that like to go to the beach in La Jolla and other places, we were sitting at lunch talking about he's seen more sharks in the water this year than he has in many years. So just word to the wise, you may see Petty Officer Aronson picking you up in the boat if you need to. But highlights from his nomination: he volunteers at Big Brothers and Big Sisters, spent over 100 hours on one-on-one personal mentoring with hiking and rock climbing. With closing of some of the indoor gyms, he took the charge to build an outdoor fitness facility at Coast Guard Sector San Diego, and he continues to work with the men and women to ensure their operational readiness, and they are very, very busy at that sector in San Diego. So thank you, Petty Officer Arison. So a big round of applause for all of our finalists. They are winners, clearly in every sense of the word. And we clearly thank them for all their efforts, not only what they do in their day-to-day job, but what they do for us here in the community. So everybody who's one of the finalists is going to get a bag, and I think it's floating around. Maybe you've already seen it. It's a bag of gift certificates. It also includes a $100 gift certificate from the Cohn Restaurant Group. There we go. And it's actually from all the restaurants that the Cohn Group is from, so it's very nice. Oh. Get on the camera. Example of the finalist plaque, as well as the gift certificates. We'll be handing out here shortly. So it's now my pleasure to go back to the virtual world and introduce Command Master Chief Retired David Deary from USAA, and who's going to present this year's Making a Difference Award. Master Chief, over to you.
Thanks, Dennis. I assume everybody can hear me. If not, there'll be some yelling saying stop, do something. Fleet Week Committee, thanks again for putting this on. Despite the environment that we're in, thank you for everybody that came down to the USO, and Ashley, thanks for opening up the airport USO. Especially those that never been there before. I heard it mentioned earlier, it's the first time some have been there. You know, once again, it's an honor for USA to be able to sponsor the Making a Difference Award. You know, the Making a Difference Award is presented to someone, well, you know, who's been nominated by their command because of their contributions to the San Diego community. You know, and these contributions go over and above their daily professional duties. And as Dennis indicated earlier, every one of the finalists are winners. And the competition to select the awardee, wow, was it extremely difficult to do. However, after considerable debate, discussion, emails back and forth, our selection committee is happy to announce the winner of the 2020 Making a Difference Award, well, drum roll, goes to Religious Program Specialist First Class Melissa Riley of the USS Abraham Lincoln. Gordon, would you please read the citation?
Certainly. The San Diego Fleet Week Foundation takes great pleasure in presenting the 2020 Fleet Week Making a Difference Award to Religious Program Specialist First Class Melissa Riley for services set forth in the following. Petty Officer Riley volunteered numerous hours with the Alpha Project, Food for the Hungry, and 32 other community organizations by teaching classes, organizing and running fundraising events, and she also organized and led community service events while stocking and supplying food banks and shelters. She is a visible community member and Navy leader, not only in the way she has inspired other volunteers, but also in the way she inspires all of the sailors she supervises. Petty Officer Riley has contributed to the community by fostering an environment of positive growth for others throughout San Diego County. Her dedication to volunteer work has encouraged 350 service members to join her in community involvement efforts and has paved the way for 4 sailors aboard USS Abraham Lincoln to receive their Military Outstanding Volunteer Medal and 50 sailors to begin working on their medal, the highest achievement of volunteerism in the Department of Defense. While her many volunteer hours reflect great credit upon herself, her ability to inspire and influence volunteerism in the men and women of USS Abraham Lincoln make Petty Officer Riley truly deserving of the 2020 Fleet Week San Diego Making a Difference Award. Signed, Gordon Rutherford, Captain, U.S. Navy, retired, President, 2020. Thank you. RP1, this is what your award will look like when you get it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you all so much.
You'd like to say any more words, Petty Officer? That's it?
I mean, I appreciate my command putting me up for this award and for all of the time and effort that it took for all of you to go through all of the packages. And I want to just say congratulations to all of the other finalists. Obviously, this is a very hard decision for them to make because you all have done some amazing things. So I just want to say congratulations to all of you, and I hope that one day after COVID is over, we can all get together in person, since I'm not allowed to right now. and then we can all meet and get together. So just thank you very much for this. I'm so honored and humbled by this. So thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So one other thing I was going to mention, it's not on a script and it's going to drive Larry nuts, but if you notice this flagpole behind me with the American flag, so this flagpole originally was on the Naval Training Center, San Diego, which was right down the street here many, many years ago. And its last commanding officer is with us here today, and that's Captain Jack Inch, sitting right here. Jack is a longtime member of the Fleet Week Board of Directors, past president, and a former prisoner of war. Jack, congratulations. So thank you. Okay, Gordon. Gordon, it's over to you. Thanks again to everybody for being here today. Big thanks to the USO, and turn it over to Gordon.
All right, thank you very much. And to recognize the finalists who are here, I thought I'd ask each of you to come up here to receive your finalist plaque as well as the cone certificates for the restaurant. So if you could all come up here, please. Oh yeah, and get a photographer up here, please. So come on up. Of course, I guess Petty Officer Arthur had to make a quick stop. She'll be right back. Oh, geez, you're the first one up. I'm sorry. Good grief. Anyway, so Petty Officer Arthur, thank you very much and congratulations. Staff Sergeant Hernandez. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And Officer Harrison. Thank you very much and congratulations. You can take the phone things just to hold that in there. So if we could get a group photo real quick right here by the podium, please. Thank you. And again, thank you very much to our honored guests, including those from the Navy, the Marines, the Coast Guard, and of course Fleet Week's very loyal, very generous sponsors. Thank you again to the USO San Diego for your hospitality and the use of this beautiful venue. A special thanks to Cubic Corporation for their sponsoring the luncheon, and to USAA for their sponsorship of the Making a Difference Award. We hope to see you all next year when we will be celebrating the 20th anniversary of the San Diego Fleet Week Foundation. Thank you very much.